Tesla's stock is trading higher by about 2% today, following a string of good news. First up, it is actually being reported by Reuters that Tesla wants to open a China data center to build AI-powered self-driving technology. The article says Tesla seeks to build a data center in China to power its car's self-driving capabilities, Reuters reported on Friday, citing unnamed people with knowledge of the matter. According to the sources, the EV maker wants a China data center to develop artificial intelligence algorithms for autonomous vehicles. Such a data center would require Tesla to partner with a local company, the report said. Tesla's chief executive Elon Musk discussed the possibility of opening a data center during a meeting with Chinese Premier Li Qiang last month, Reuters said. The company also held talks with NVIDIA about buying graphic processing units for a China data center, Reuters reported, citing a source briefed on the talks. Considering China is not allowed to have the best of the best NVIDIA products, it'll be interesting to see if Tesla could get their hands on those products in China. So this is number one, and you can kind of see what happened when this news broke. Tesla's stock had a lot of green candles in a row. And I should add that Tesla's stock is up about 2% and the S&P is flat on the day today. So this is a big outperformance by Tesla. Next up, we have Tesla has won approval for its expansion of its Giga Berlin factory after a meeting between community members and local officials was held on Thursday. We also had Tesla that just increased the price of the Model 3 Performance in the US by $1,000 to $54,990. Tesla has also increased the price of the white interior by $500 for the Model 3 rear-wheel drive and long range by $500 to $2,000. White interior is now $0 on the performance trim. So Tesla raising prices is always going to be seen as a positive no matter what. Tesla China has introduced a new promotion that allows new buyers to choose between a zero interest option and a zero down payment option for the Model 3 and the Model Y. The offer ends June 30th. So it looks like Tesla has learned that doing a low interest rate instead of cutting prices is outrageously more beneficial for Tesla. I mean, just taking a look at Google Trends data, following this low interest rate on the Model Y, the Model Y search trend number went from 26 to 47. That is a massive jump in which you never seen anything like this when Tesla was cutting prices prior. So, judging off of Google Trends data, I think that does correlate to higher demand currently for the Model Y. On that note, you can see the Cybertruck is continuing to explode higher, recently going from 56 up to 70, which is just insane in and of itself. The Model 3 did tick up as well from 24 to 25. The Model S and the Model X are pretty flat, but the Model X did go from 9 to 10. The Model S has stayed at 11. And I'll just tell you right now, if there was any quarter that Tesla could do very well, better than analysts or investors' expectations, it's probably Q2, like this quarter, just given where your search trend activity is. The chair of Tesla, Robin Denholm, told the Financial Times about the upcoming shareholder vote. Quote, "It's like Mount Everest. It's a huge hill to climb because getting 50% of the shareholders to vote, let alone what they vote for, is quite tough." Tesla's chair, Robin Denholm, told the Financial Times, quote, "We're very early days of the campaign and we'll be meeting with shareholders all the way through the end of the vote. The vote's pretty important for us as a company, but I also think it's important for corporate America as well. Every shareholder that I've ever talked to says that Elon's compensation plan worked. They actually appreciate the fact that it drove a lot of shareholder value. The plan was originally seen as impossible, ludicrous, and overly ambitious." For anyone that does not know how to vote, you go to your email associated with your broker account and you plug in this email, no reply at Robinhood.com/Tesla. I have to do this for a couple different brokerages, but just say for Robinhood, you type this in and you'll find the letter that says, hey, Tyler, whatever, you own shares, you're eligible to vote. You then click on the vote button, and then it will take you to this. And then you click vote now. And then what you want to do, in my personal opinion, vote how you will. That is your right as an investor. But I'm voting for all of it. Why am I doing that? You might ask. Because the simple conclusion is, I don't know how to run Tesla. Tesla has done a great job running Tesla. And even if they hadn't done a great job before, they've started to make a conscious effort in turning the ship around. Not just the business itself and the delivery number, but also sustainable profitability, investing in themselves, and telling the markets what they're doing. Markets wanted cheaper models quicker. What did Tesla do? They said, oh yeah, we're not going to do the first half of 2025. We're going to shoot for the end of this year. I mean, take my money, okay, at this point. At least what they've done recently. So I don't know how to run Tesla. People think they know how to run Tesla. I'm not going to try to figure out what's the best thing for Tesla. I think Elon and the Tesla team have that covered for me. So I'm going to go ahead and submit my vote for everything. Jeez, and apparently there was a lot of things I needed to vote for, and there's probably is for you. Fubo, Crocs, PayPal, and Dollar General, as well as Tesla, were all different annual meetings that I needed to vote for. So you might find something else in there for yourself as well. But if you do go to the investor relations, the shareholder vote guide, and click on your broker, you might get a slightly different email to put in your email search box, right? For Fidelity, it's in Fidelity Investments, shareholder docs, fidelity.com. Robinhood, it's no reply, Robinhood.com/Tesla. So you do want to click on your broker and do it, because all of these search terms are much different. And originally, I just searched in my email Tesla, and it did not come up. There was like thousands of emails with Tesla in it. Tesla's North American X account posted this post about their mobile gallery that is now in Orlando, Florida, towed by the Cybertruck. And they will be in Orlando May 19th or 17th through the 19th, but then they will go to all of these other cities as well. And this is the mobile gallery. Top Gear's Ali Mirage says the Fisker Ocean is arguably better built, easier to use, and offers a more luxurious interior compared to the Tesla Model Y. He also said Fisker may not be here next week. That to me seems like a stretch. I haven't seen a Fisker in person, but judging off of the reviews that I've seen, that's not the conclusion that I would come to. And first of all, I hate the solar things on the roof. It literally gives you like zero functionality. It adds like a mile or two a day on a sunny day, and it just looks disgusting. Tesla Energy's X account says Texas residents can enjoy unlimited vehicle charging for $15 a month and $400 per Powerwall each year with Tesla Electric. Tesla has released some new Cybertruck accessories, a spare tire and a toolkit for $1,250, mud flaps for $100, underseat storage bin for $250, and D-rings for $40. Gary Black writes on X, Tesla, on the other hand, continues to make great strides in FSD and autonomous driving, but earnings estimates keep falling because of price cuts. And now, ironically, falling delivery estimates, usually price cuts increase volumes. The next major catalyst is the June 13th annual meeting where Elon's 2018 comp package is likely to be again overwhelmingly approved by shareholders, which should eliminate any possibility of Elon leaving, which is hugely positive, he puts in parentheses. We can't make this stuff up either. Now, Gary Black just posted this about 15 minutes ago. I'm curious to see if EPS estimates are falling again today on the Bloomberg terminal. If any of you guys have the Bloomberg terminal, I do not. I use other terminals, and I'm not seeing that. But Tesla stock is up a lot today, and they actually raised prices about 18 hours ago on the Model 3 performance. So maybe that should offset some of the discount rate buy down that Tesla is doing. Also, good news today, specifically for Chinese stocks, which Tesla is like half US, half Chinese stock at this point, is this: China's stimulus starts with a bond, not a bang. Yes, this is an article from Reuters, but it is the best one that I could find, unfortunately. Beijing's economic stimulus has finally arrived. China's Ministry of Finance on Friday will sell 1 trillion yuan, or about 138 billion of ultra-long special sovereign bonds. This paves the way for more policy support to spur ailing credit demand in the world's second largest economy. Recent economic data underscores the urgency for action. The property sector, once a huge driver of economic growth, has yet to find a bottom. Prices for new homes across 70 cities declined for a 10th consecutive month, falling 0.6% in April, the fastest month-on-month pace in more than 9 years. Annual growth in outstanding total social financing, a broad measure of credit and liquidity in the economy, slowed to a record low of 8.3% in April. So Beijing giving out stimulus in China could be a boom also to Tesla. Global inventory numbers for Tesla have fallen sharply to about 6,000 for the Model Y, now back up to about 6,500. So you're seeing a couple hundred, inventory swings every single day now, at least the last couple of days, and especially this drop, which was just crazy. That was like a 3,000 inventory drop. Not sure exactly what happened there. But the Model 3 continues to tick upwards in inventory. That's a good sign that Fremont is starting to really crank out the new one performance variant of the Model 3, but just the upgraded Model 3 in general. The Model X has about 2,600 vehicles in inventory, and the Model S at about 1,500. Tesla also continues to run about 4,000 different ads with Google. Option activity today from big money in Tesla is quite positive. You've seen 30 orders totaling $2.94 million with a positive order value of 59%. Less than $3 million is a super, super, super low day. I mean, that's a lot better than yesterday where you only had $784,000 in option activity. Guys, I mean, in a single day prior to Tesla's last earnings, we were trading billions of dollars in option activity every single day. Now you're at 3 million. Something pretty drastic has happened here. And one thing that I think is certain is hedge funds, institutions, and big money have gotten less bearish, okay? There's a lot less bearish option activity. Now, I think bullish option activity is not as strong as it was as well because I think people are trying to accumulate Tesla. You've seen in the last quarter, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, Vanguard all increased their stakes in Tesla by 10 million shares or so a piece. I believe Vanguard was a little bit lower at about 7 million, and Morgan Stanley was higher at about 10 plus million. But I think there's a lot of buying in Tesla stock, and there's obviously less trading in Tesla options, which is pretty interesting. Like, it has dropped off like 99%. Like, the total options trading has dropped off 99% in Tesla stock. That's kind of insane. Short interest or free float remains at a multi-year high at 3.87%. You do have $18.74 billion currently in short positions and 107.2 million shares that are currently sold short. Cost to borrow max at about 1.2%. And it looks inevitable here that you're going to see a short squeeze at some point, given how high these numbers are. The question really is, are we going to see a short squeeze before the economy weakens so much that recession fears rise and markets fall? That's a question I don't have an answer to. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Here on the day today, full self-driving search trend activity is falling a little bit today, still higher than that bottom you hit at about 27. You're now at 32, which if you trend in the high 20s and the low 30s, that's going to be great, because prior to this free trial, you were trending anywhere from 10 to 20 on the high side. So this would suggest a higher take rate and higher continued activity inquiring into full self-driving. Over on StockTwits, sentiment for Tesla is neutral today at 50, which is actually lower than it was yesterday. Yesterday you were bullish at 59. Message volume today is the same as yesterday, normal at 47, and the participation ratio is actually going up today from 54 yesterday to 55 now today. CNN's fear and greed indicator is going up yet again to 64, which now you're about midpoint in the fear and greed index, at least in the greed side, getting closer to extreme greed. Yesterday you were only at 60, which was basically barely in greed territory. Now you're starting to get further into greed territory. Odds of a rate cut coming July 31st are actually falling today by about 5%, from 29.2% to 24.6%. I believe firmly the first cut will be July 31st. I think the economy is going to weaken enough. I think the next two inflation reports are going to be, good enough that the Fed will be cutting by July 31st. If that is true, then I think by July 31st, we could be setting up for a fantastic time for Tesla. And I'll explain this a little bit more in depth in the next video. The percent of stocks today above their 50-day moving average is sitting at about 61%. 0.31% of stocks out there on the markets are breaking above that 50-day moving average today. You're getting back to where you were late March when you did hit a high of about 66%. So you're still not quite there yet, but it has been a slow and steady grind higher of stocks breaking above that 50-day moving average. And your treasury yields today are actually climbing up about 4.5 basis points. The yield is now 4.42%. And you actually did have a little bit of bad news for the economy. The CB leading index month over month came in at negative 0.6%. The expectation was negative 0.2%. And last month you were negative 0.3%. So that's a pretty rough number. As far as Tesla stock on a technical basis, you did find support at that 20-day moving average. The 20-day moving average has now broke above the 50-day moving average, which in the short term is a pretty good sign of continued strength. Whenever a short-term moving average breaks above a longer-term moving average, that tends to be a good sign, at least on a technical basis. And that is coupled today with about a 1.5% rally with Tesla. Tesla has fallen at least a little bit throughout the 30 minutes or so I've been recording this video. The next major level to be watching is about 180 to 181 here with this trend line. If you get resistance there, I wouldn't be surprised if you break above, then you're setting yourself up for a run all the way up to this 100-day moving average at about $188 per share, $188.81 per share to be specific. That is also where I have another level of resistance, which will presumably be resistance, which will end up support if we do get above that. This is the same gap down level you've seen on March 4th. So very important levels here coming up. 180, call it 181. And then you do have the 188 level. If you get above that, that's where things start to look a lot better, and you open up a run up into this 200-day moving average at about $215 per share. If you take a look at the RSI is at 53.54, so pretty good. Pretty normal or neutral, really, in the grand scope of things. And the MACD is still positive. Yellow line is still above the blue line. MACD line at 1.5 and the signal line at 1.25. You're still trending upwards at, albeit a slower pace, but that looks good as well. So that is going to do it for this video. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and you made it to the end of this video. If you guys want to come join the trading community, check out that link down below in the description of this video as well. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.